Hi guys, Jamie and Sarah here. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing a furniture flipping challenge where we go to an urban thrift store and then a rural one and compare prices. Then we're going to see how much more profit we can make by flipping items from the rural thrift store.
So stick around, it's going to be fun. Hey guys, so today we are out thrifting and we thought it would be a fun experiment to actually go out of town a little bit into some of the country type thrift stores to see if we can find some better prices and actually better stuff. Because in our city we feel like everything is pretty picked over and stuff's getting really expensive. So we're gonna go check some stuff out.
What you got? Alright. How much you pay for that?
$3.
Alright.
Pretty cute.
For that one?
This one was $3 also.
Sweet.
Country stores for the win! Ruby, what do you think?
Monkey down here.
Kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Tires.
Oh boy. I bet there's some treasures though.
What you got?
Piece of pottery. So we bought this blanket ladder at a rural thrift store. It was $3. And after staging it and kind of cleaning it up, I'm actually gonna ask $40 for it. If these things are pretty in high demand right now, anything that's like brass and mid-century looking. So I just added some of these cozy blankets to it and just kind of made it look its best. I will also take a picture of it without any blankets so that people can see the full thing so that they don't think I'm like hiding something underneath it. So when I list stuff, I actually always try to list it in multiples of 20. So if someone wants to pay in cash, they have to go to an ATM usually to get out cash, and ATMs will only give you multiples of 20. So if I'm asking something like $45 for this, then they'll have to get out 3 20s and then go break a 20 somewhere. It's just a lot of extra work for them. So if I ask for $40 instead of $45, then they only have to get out those increments from the ATM, and it's not like an extra step to make change. So that's typically what I do with pricing, is I try to keep it in those intervals of 20.
Alright, so this table we got from a rural Goodwill. It's pretty cool. The bottom part is in really good shape, but this top part has some cosmetic dings and issues. And then there also is some tobacco staining on the underside. I think it was someone's like smoking table or something. So I'm gonna try to first take off this top part here and paint it matte black. But if I can't take it off, I'll have to tape off this bottom part. But I think the matte black will hide any of the imperfections and also just look pretty cool. And again, since people have been requesting the type of paint we're using, this is just a Rust-Oleum matte paint and primer in one. So
this table we got at a Goodwill for $6. It was pretty beat up when we found it, but Jamie just spray painted it with a matte colored spray paint and it turned out awesome. So we're really excited about it. It has some cool lines, it's a cool shape. So we're gonna list it for $40. So we got 2 of these chairs. They were $10 a piece. I tried to clean them up and it really wasn't working. There's like kind of all this black lines. But then I tried using baking soda and I just kind of like poured some on there and it like worked amazing. So we try to avoid using chemicals whenever we can. But this like a little bit of abrasiveness really like, it like perfectly comes out. So I already cleaned up the other chair. And so this one is gonna look really good too. So I just gotta put a little elbow grease into it and get it nice and clean. And then we're gonna stage these together over in our sunroom. So this is vinyl. So obviously you shouldn't use baking soda on just anything, but because this was like a harder, smooth surface, it works. These chairs actually turned out really nice. They look really good. We paid $10 a piece for them. So we did a little Google image search to kind of figure out what these chairs were worth. They have a little plaque on the back that says they're from Chicago and kind of the name of the furniture company. How you find out what other people are trying to sell these for is you open up your Google app, okay, and then you click on the little camera, and then you try to get a good picture of it so it can recognize it. So different people are listing these at different prices. One person's asking $250 for one chair. There's one listed for $1,500, but I'm not even sure that's the same chair. So we want to get rid of these. We paid $10 a piece for them. They're really cool pieces. So I think we're gonna ask $60 a piece or $100 for the pair. I know that's a little bit lower than maybe Google says, but I don't think that those prices are super realistic. Even though they are really cool chairs, and I think they're really quality and were made really well. So we're gonna list those at that and see what happens. So we decided to stage these chairs with this mid-century end table. We actually got this the same day from another rural thrift store. We paid $4 for it, which I think in the city this would have been like $50 at a thrift store. It's just really in good shape, and it's mid-century and it's really cool. So we decided to stage these all together because they all are from kind of the same era and they just are the same style. So we're gonna list this one as well. I think I'm gonna ask $50 for it. So we bought this bar cart for $4. Jamie didn't really want me to get it, but I thought it could be pretty cool. We're painting these gold. I ran out of gold spray paint, so I found this in my little craft collection. Liquid leaf. It's working pretty good though. And then we're gonna paint these black, these caster wheels. They look like they're pretty beat up.
What's this, what's your paintbrush there?
This is an old makeup brush because I also ran out of paintbrushes. You use what you got. It's 9 o'clock at night, the girls are sleeping, and this is what I had. It works. So this piece we got for $4. And I painted all these gold. Jamie painted the wheels black, cleaned it up really nice, and I think we're gonna list it for $40. It's a nice little bar cart, so I'm thinking maybe for Christmas it might be a cool little gift for somebody. So I'm always on the hunt for these bamboo coffee tables. They're really cool, really trendy right now. We found this one at a rural thrift store for $15. But I have one in my house that I decided I like this one better. So I'm gonna keep this one and sell my other one. So if you wanna see this one's cool too, but I just like the detail of the other one a little better. So I'm actually gonna sell this one that I've had for a while that I also got from a thrift store. So I'm gonna list that one instead and replace it with this one, and I think I'll list that one for $40, so I'll still have a $25 profit in there.
All right, so we got these chairs for $5 a piece, which we're pretty excited about. So I actually slightly misspoke. These chairs were listed for $5 a piece, but the thrift store had a 25% off chairs special. So we actually got these chairs for $15 for 4 of them. We thought this set would look a little bit cooler if we painted it. So we're gonna paint it black and gold and kind of give it that modern styling, if you will. I think it'll be a pretty easy project because these seats just unscrew. So I'm gonna put my painting clothes on and we'll get started. So we had some requests last time we painted something to share what color we bought. This doesn't have a specific name to the color, but it's just a Rust-Oleum metallic paint. When we're looking at golds, we try to get gold paint that doesn't have a red hue to it. So just kind of with the more generic gold, the better. I didn't realize how fumy it was going to be, so I had to put my respirator on. Definitely a good idea if you're spraying indoors.
So we actually decided to keep these leather or pleather. We were going to paint them black, but I think it would look too cheap and kind of gaudy and like kind of lose the texture and detail of the seat. So we're actually gonna leave these leather, and I like them now with this color gold. It's a little bit less red, and I think it looks really good. All
right, so this dining set turned out really nice. We basically just sprayed everything gold so that it matched and it kind of looked a little bit more modern, but still definitely has that like mid-century 50s vibe going on. But I think we can easily sell this for $150. One reason this set is so nice is that it can be really compact for someone. So these are actually folding chairs. So these legs kind of fold in like this. So it's really easy it'll be really easy to transport for someone. And then also if they have a small apartment, they can just stow away the chairs they're not using. So I think it'll make it really convenient for someone. And so I think we'll sell it pretty easily. So this one, we definitely put a little bit more effort into the staging part of it, similar to the other dining set we sold. We just felt like it looked most natural in this area. So we took the time to move out our dining table and stage this one in place. I think it'll really help it sell a lot faster.
So we picked this one up for $30. We really liked the details of the arms. We thought that was really unique. So I think we're gonna ask $60 for it. So this is another one of our rural finds. We got it from a Goodwill. I think it was $6.99. And it's like real clay. It's really heavy. I actually really love it. I wouldn't mind if we didn't sell it. We're gonna sell it with this pampas grass that we already had. This grass is like super popular right now. So we just kind of styled it that way with this chair. So because this is hand painted and really big, and we're including the pampas grass, we're gonna list it at $40. So we found this little cutie pie for $3. Wicker and cane right now is really big, and this is just a cool shelf on a wall. So I think we're gonna list it for $25. So you could use this like in a bathroom to put some like cute little things on, or in a bedroom, anywhere, office. It really is pretty versatile little piece. So anybody that kind of likes this style, I feel like would really like it. I'm not gonna stage this one too much, just kind of set it up and show it as is. Because there's so much detail going on that I just don't want it to make it look messy. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take a nice photo of it and list it.
Welcome to my outdoor living room. Our garage is often filled with furniture, so it's a good place to relax. Anyways, we spent about $153 on all this furniture, including supplies to repair them and fix them up. And we're expecting about a $442 profit, so it's really pretty good for just one haul. So our most recent thrift run was pretty amazing. We went out into the country and were shocked by how cheap some of the items were, so we ended up coming back with a full truckload.
So Jamie and I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is like a medium-sized city. So at our thrift stores, everything is pretty expensive, I think, like almost close to retail prices. It can get a little out of hand. So I think the reason for that is just that there's a lot of demand in the city. There's a lot of people constantly moving and just needing furniture, and so thrift stores can charge a lot more for it. So I thought it would be a fun experiment to actually go outside of the city into the more of these like little small towns neighboring our city, like nearby, just to see what the price difference was, if there was any, and just to see what would happen. After we went to a couple thrift stores in our city, we decided to venture out into the country a little bit. So we went to a few different neighboring little towns. We drove about a half an hour, so not too far out. And I actually was completely shocked at the price differences.
Yeah, we thought it would be definitely cheaper in the country, but it was like ridiculously cheaper. It was,
like 10 times.
Yeah.
So there was this little hexagon table that I found at our thrift store in the city that I see all the time. I think it was $30. And so when we drove out to a thrift store that was a little bit outside and it was in the country, we found the exact same one for $4.
Then there was also a set of chairs. I think they were $30 a piece, right? Something like that, $30 or $40. Again, in the country, it was like $3 or $4. So,
a piece for a chair.
Yeah, so you're talking a 10 times price difference, which is crazy.
And again, we only drove like 15 to 30 minutes outside of our city to find these different prices. So I think that it's really interesting. So if you are trying to start this whole flipping thing and you live in a city, that's great, because when you sell, there's a lot more demand for it. And so you can go outside of your city, find these cheaper prices, and then go back to your city to sell them. If you don't live in the city, what should they do?
Yeah, we've had that question a few times now. I think if you live outside the city, you should try to list your items in the city and then either offer delivery, or if you have some cool finds, they might be willing to drive out to you. So I think if you live in the country, don't think that furniture flipping is impossible, because it's definitely not.
Going to these rural thrift stores, I thought it was really cool because their selection was actually awesome. Like a lot of times in our city, everything's pretty picked over. So if you are having trouble like finding stuff in your city, just try to go to a neighboring town. So a lot of you guys have asked how we actually price our items. We kind of shared with you a little bit about the Google app that you can actually take a picture of something and Google recognizes it and will show you what other people are selling that for, whether it's on Etsy, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere. But those prices are typically really expensive, I think, like not realistic.
Those prices are usually on like a national level, so but it also very much is location dependent what you can sell stuff for. And there's a balance of, you know, getting rid of an item quickly versus selling it at top dollar. So we try to hold that in check. Yeah,
and obviously these items are used. They're not necessarily in perfect condition. So we don't want to ask too much of them. We definitely want them to be reasonable and people to be able to afford them.
Yeah, so like we've posted in some other videos, we usually do some market research of what other items are selling in our area. And we usually list a little bit above that just because we do the staging and try to take a nice photo and stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're selling a chair, let's say it's like a velvet chair, and you rip off those skirts, you can look on your Facebook Marketplace in your area and actually just type that into the search bar. Type in like mid-century velvet chair and see what comes up. And if a lot of people are selling them for $50 to $100, then you kind of know that that's about what you should be asking for yours.
So if you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. We do a lot of furniture flipping on this channel and flipping of other stuff. We like to talk about different ways to make money outside of a 9 to 5. So see you guys next time.
Merry Flipmas!
Merry Flipmas.
Had to sneak it in there.